Yuval Noah Harari, Klaus Schwab, the World Economic Forum, and a number of AI and tech-based futurists posit that there is no soul and no God or need for God. Harari informs us that we are all but hackable animals and that soon we will own nothing and be happy. Ray Kurzweil and others suggest that the human mind or soul can be loaded onto a hard drive and stored in a cloud and be downloaded into another body with the intention of eternal life. As attractive as this may sound to those who have an obvious fear of death, inspiring the funding of such so-called science, to state that the human soul can be uploaded to a cloud and be reinserted into another body is a clear admission that what the soul is eludes them. But are these things true? Is the soul real? Human testimony for the soul goes back to the origins of written record of the soul, be that rock carvings, stone tablets, petroglyphs, hieroglyphs, oral transmission of myths, or written documents. Additionally, today we have numerous books and countless studies substantiating life after death and reincarnation, which necessitate the existence of a soul. Are the perceptions of all those people throughout antiquity, including mystics, seers, wise men, saints and sages, medicine men, and storytellers, confused? Is belief in, or our experiences of our own soul and the souls of others, but irrational babblings of a confused humanity, as Yuval Noah Harari and the World Economic Forum and other materialists would suggest? Before I begin my dialogue with Angie, I feel it is important to define what the soul is. The fact is, there are as many conceptions of the soul as there are people, and there are also distinct differences in how the soul is conceived within each of the world's great religions, and even differences within branches of the same religion. Surely you are each aware that there is confusion over the meanings of important words like God, love, soul, spirit, mind, consciousness, and many other important words, regardless of the language spoken. This results in an inability to make meaning, generates assumptions or rejections of another's conceptions because one person's conception doesn't match the author's, speaker's, or presenter's conceptions. If you study the literature on the soul as described in the world's great religions, myths, the philosophers, mystics, gurus, and even the great scientists of the world, you will find that there is little agreement among them regarding specifics of the spirit and soul, yet there is a consensus that human beings do have a soul, the scientific materialists and atheists being the exception. But, as Carl Jung pointed out, for something to be rejected, it must first be real. The Egyptians held that the soul was a divine ray acting through a peculiar fluid-like compound, whilst the Jews regarded it as the vital principle. The Hindus teach that the human soul is a portion of the immutable principle, the soul of the world, the anima mundi, the all-pervading ether, akasha, of space. This ether is simply the conductor of certain types of energy and serves as an interrelating medium between the essential spirit and tangible matter. Pythagoras, who did so much in his day to link the Eastern and Western philosophies, gave the same teaching. In China, Lao Tzu taught that the spiritual soul is united to the semi-material vital soul, and between them, they animate the physical body. The Greeks in turn held that the soul, with all the mental faculties, was separable from the body, whilst the Romans regarded the soul as a triplicity, a spiritual soul, an intellectual soul or mind, and a vital body. Plato expounded the doctrine of the soul in the following manner. He believed the soul to have three parts. One, an immortal or rational part coming from God. Another, a mortal, animal, or sensitive part, the seat of the appetite and sensation belonging to the body. And a third lying between these and making their interaction possible, will or spirit, by means of which reason conquered desire. Plants have the lowest part, animals have the two lower, but the rational part is exclusively human. Plato thus drew a fundamental distinction between soul and body. Aristotle regarded the soul as the sum of the vital principles and as being to the body what vision is to the eye. The soul was to him the true being in the body, and with him Plotinus was in agreement. He regarded the soul as the living sentiency of the body belonging to a higher degree of being than matter. In my studies of Plotinus, noted that the soul has three essential qualities: to abide, to reflect, and to represent or represent. The abiding function of the soul would be akin to or equal to the divine witness, the unmoved mover. To reflect means to look back and utilize memory. To represent means that we have the capacity, based on our reflection, to change the way we present ourselves, represent ourselves. Therefore, the soul has memory, and it has the ability to represent, to change its ways, to change its belief, thoughts, and actions. All the while, the abiding function is the unmoved mover. The entire field of psychology originated as the study of the soul and how to work with and heal it. Depth psychology, founded by Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, is, in my experience, by far the most comprehensive and complete branch of psychology when it comes to understanding the soul and addressing the human being as a whole. In Jungian psychology, the terms for expressing the nature of the soul are anima and animus. The anima is the feminine expression of the soul within a male's body and being, and the animus is the male soul nature within the female body. This orientation is present because Source, God, or Zero, is the truth behind all manifestation. Therefore, if we consider the masculine as positive and the feminine as negative, then the human male needs the negative expression of the anima as soul to counterbalance the body, and vice versa for the female. The relative balance between the physical body and the subtle body equals zero, or unconditional love, placing all living beings in resonance with source energy and intelligence. I define the soul as consciousness, memory, and wisdom gained by experience, and the spirit as the flow of energy and information that animates our being. The analogy I often give my students is the shaman and the drum. The drum is held in the shaman's hand. It has a body. It has a skin that vibrates and creates resonance, but it cannot play itself. The spirit, the flow of energy and information, is what is actually giving the soul, the drum, an experience. The soul, drum, not only resonates, vibrates, but it has, as I said before, memory. Therefore, it is the spirit that is directing the drumstick and giving the drum vibration, which makes the music, which produces the experience that our soul has. The spirit is what is giving us an experience.